The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Guerrilla Politics. Hope you're having a wonderful Christmas Eve and a wonderful vacation as well. I'm Dale Jackson. I host a radio show here in North Alabama on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM WVNN. You can hear me from 7 to 11 a.m. Dr. Burke obviously is not here today, so James Lomax, a commercial real estate agent, will be joining us instead. And we've got a lot to talk about today. House Minority Leader in the state of Alabama, Anthony Daniels, will be here with us. We'll talk with him about the Doug Jones victory, what the Democratic Party wants to do in Alabama moving forward into 2018, the legislative session, the elections. We got a lot to discuss. He'll be a great person to talk to about that. I've got a history lesson for you. It's Hillary Clinton wrapping presents. Yeah, we'll talk about that. And I've got a parting shot for you about not ruining Christmas. So we've got a very busy show for you today. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's get to the 2-minute warning. Folks, the big story this week is a big victory for Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Or if you were watching the mainstream media, a gigantic loss, a huge blunder, the end of the world. It all depends, of course, what you believe and what you want to happen. There's a lot to discuss here, but let's just for a second look at what just happened. Not only did Donald Trump get massive tax cuts, he also destroyed the individual mandate. Opened drilling in Anwar. This is like a Christmas present for Republicans over the last 10 years for all the things they said they wanted to do, now they've done. James, how big is this for the Republican Party and Donald Trump? First legislative victory, how big is it?
It's a major bill. I think it came a little bit too late for Donald Trump to really play it off as some kind of major victory. Here's the deal. He already failed on the repeal of Obamacare. He's failed on a couple of other minor things. And then this tax bill came in. It's something that Republicans obviously wanted to get passed for quite a long time, Dale. Obviously, they've finally done it, and it came right at the right time. You took the words out of my mouth. It's a Christmas present. It's really more of a Christmas present to Donald Trump, I think, than the American people. His approval ratings will go up slightly off of this.
I think we'll get into all of this about how the reaction and all these other things. They needed this. I mean, they were a beleaguered group, the Republicans, Donald Trump, all of them. They were essentially a full party, one-party government who wasn't getting anything done. Now they can say we have a piece of legislative accomplishments. Trump couldn't claim Gorsuch, I don't think, because that was a McConnell deal.
No.
And I think executive orders and all that other stuff is fine. But remember, they got all over Obama for doing this. This is an actual huge legislative deal. That's how big this is.
I think an accomplishment or not, it was kind of odd to see all the Republicans, the senators, and the congressmen praising their president so highly after this deal.
Okay, so I saw that, and it was just weird for people to be so upset that they were praising him. It was odd. It was weird. I tend to agree with that as well. All right, let's talk about how corporations reacted. It was interesting. In Alabama, we have AT&T. We have all sorts of companies like NBC. They have cable companies in Alabama. And they said, we're going to give all of our employees checks. And we're going to spend a bunch of money raising our minimum wage to $15. We are going to spend more money on philanthropy. We're going to do tons of stuff. Is this a gimmick in response to this bill? Or are these companies serious about this? The way I read it is this. One, they want to make a good faith gesture here that if you lower our taxes, we're going to pump money into the economy. We're going to do that kind of stuff. I think what they're also doing is laying the groundwork for the argument that you've got to make these things permanent. Because if you don't make these things permanent, we're going to roll back our minimum wage to $12. And we're not. So
that would be difficult to do.
Right, I agree. But is the gimmick? Is it a gimmick, or is this legit what they see coming down the pipe?
Oh, it's 100% a gimmick. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It's a PR stunt. But guess what? That's real money. That's really in the pockets of the American people, the employees of these companies. So although it is a PR stunt, although it is a gimmick, it really does look good. And it makes Donald Trump look pretty good when these companies do it, because that's the way he said it will work. He said that money's going to go right back into the economy, right back into the hands of the workers, not the executives. That's how it's played out so far. We'll see if that will continue.
Do you think they were ready for this? I mean, if this was going to pass, obviously they were. They said, if this passes, we're going to come out, we're going to offer all these things. Do you think that they were offering these things if it had this tax bill not passed, would they have still done some of this, or is this just only happening because of this tax bill?
I think it's 100% because of the tax bill, and they're taking advantage of the PR nightmare that would actually unfold if they didn't do anything. They want to be the team that's jumping on board before everybody else, and I think we'll see less and less of this from other companies now that the other guys have already gotten out in front.
No, I think that's true, because I think what happened here is you had to be out there early. You can't come out January 15th and say, okay, we're doing this because of the tax. Well, some might, but I think the bigger issue here, of course, is Donald Trump getting that big victory. And I don't think that we can for a second not say that the White House didn't know these
Makes
corporations.
them look good.
Yeah, there's no questions about that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Will they make it permanent? This is the big question here. Will they make this permanent? I talked to Dr. Burke all the time on this program as this tax thing's been discussed, and he always said the same thing to me. Corporations, they get a permanent tax cut, but individuals, they don't get a permanent tax cut. I've seen different analyses that say anywhere from 80 to 85% of Americans are going to see some sort of cut. 10% are going to see no cut at all, and 5% are going to see their taxes go up. And one of the reasons, and I thought this was interesting, and I wish Dr. Burke was here, but I saw this study today, the $750,000 mortgage deduction, 5.5% of Americans have houses over that much. Will they make these cuts permanent? They kind of have to, right? Who's going to be the person that makes the taxes go up?
I don't know why they would want to sunset it, but I think one of the major issues is, I always say it, it's no fun when the other rabbit's got the gun. The other party could come into power, and the next thing you know, these tax cuts could come back, and it would be perceived as a tax increase at that point in time, even though it's just a return to the original status.
We saw these conversations taking place during the Bush tax cuts, and Nancy Pelosi and everyone said, oh my God, we've blown the deficit apart. We've heard that. Oh, it only goes to the rich. We've heard that. And then what did they do? They extended them and made them permanent. I mean, that's what they did, because no one's going to run for office saying, I'll raise your taxes. No one's going to do that. So the gimmick will be something along the lines of, I'll raise other people's taxes, maybe.
Or spin this as a children's health care initiative or something else that can really make a stand, really get some news headlines, but they'll need to get those taxes back to do that.
So they have until 2025. The President of the United States up for re-election in 2020. Do they do it by then? Do they try to circle back and make them permanent by then? Or do we wait until 2025? Do we wait until, I mean, if you remember, it was the Obama administration, during the Obama administration, that made them permanent. Do they wait until they almost expire? Is that the only way this happens?
I don't know. Listen, the 8 years for Donald Trump is not a given. So it could really go either way, depending on what happens next time around.
All right, let's talk about things that are not a given. The Roy Moore election. Everyone thought that was a given, but it wasn't. Roy Moore, though, he never quits. That's one thing you can say about Roy Moore. He never quits. No matter what the odds, he never quits. And we have heard all sorts of stuff from those on the right about this election, about people being bussed in, about a clip that played in Fox News 10 or Fox 10 in Mobile of an individual saying that people came from out of state and canvassed and voted. The Secretary of State tracked that guy down. He was an overexcited voter in the state of Alabama. But Roy Moore still in the fight, wants a recount. We've seen all this happen. Is there any reason for him to continue this fight? We've seen the military ballots and the provisional ballots, not enough to change it. We saw a depressed Republican turnout across the board. That's how we got here. Is there a reason for Roy Moore to continue this?
Absolutely. You want to know the reason is Roy Moore's pocketbook. Okay. That's exactly what he's concerned about. Roy Moore is only concerned about Roy Moore. He's proven it in this election. He's further embarrassed our state. He probably is going to go on a book tour after this. The supporters that are still with him are going to be with him no matter what, which is disgusting. It's terrible. And I really hope that he's going to give this one up.
So is he getting money from them? Is this a continuation of that? He's going to get money for his campaign to have this recount, and then he rolls back into the Foundation for Moral Law or whatever group he wants to run?
Very well could be. I don't know what else he can do for wealth creation at this time.
The guy's like 70 years old. I don't think he really needs a job at this point. But
his son may.
So he will continue this fight until the bitter end.
I think you're not going to see any concession out of Judge Roy Moore anytime soon.
I find that to be very interesting, mostly because it appears that it's pretty much over. And again, Roy Moore has never taken the loss well. He always finds a way to blame other people and say he's going to keep fighting and all this other stuff. Real quick, does he run for governor?
I think he jumps into something. It may not be governor. You may see him in any other statewide office trying to run.
Wow.
That's just who he is.
Maybe he runs for Supreme Court again. Maybe we can watch that race happen. All right. Lastly, I have James Lomax here. He's a young millennial conservative, so I figured this would be a good time to ask him, and I think you've heard his comments on Roy Moore and can probably draw some conclusions there. But we watched as Republicans, young Republicans in different groups around the state, and in voter turnout, abandoned the Alabama Republican Party here for write-ins, to stay home, to vote for Doug Jones, who's a Democrat. All those things happened. Now that that's over, and those individuals who maybe never voted Republican before or anything but Republican before cast that other ballot, will they return? Will they come back to the Republican Party for a generic Republican candidate and for 2018?
That's tough, Dale. I mean, this last election made voting for Republican not the cool thing to do. It made it the
Was it ever the cool thing to do amongst young people?
Not only have Republicans, and this is on a national level, not just on a statewide level, not only have Republicans failed to try to appeal to millennials and young professionals by doing cool things that makes them attracted to it. I mean, Doug Jones had Jason Isbell concerts and things like that. Not only have they not appealed, their messaging is not tailored towards young professionals at all. It's just the actual message is not resonating. And, you know, if you're looking at a national scale, guys like Bernie Sanders, that kind of thing, they've had this message of, hey, you young professionals that were told if you go to college, if you get a good education, make good grades, come out and get a job, that you're going to have a good job and a good economy. We were lied to. And Bernie Sanders and the Democrats captured onto that. Republicans haven't even touched it.
Now, in the state of Alabama specifically, we saw something different, though. Young Republican groups abandoning the Republican candidate. Do they come back? I'm not talking about millennials in general. We're speaking directly about young Republicans themselves. Do they come back?
I think in the ALGOP, you've still got the Republicans, and the Republicans just had a terrible candidate. You had the worst candidate.
So it's more about that than anything else.
And with a national focus, so they had a reason to say that.
You know, the Alabama Republicans would benefit very well with young people if they would just put up some generic Republican candidates, some vanilla Republican candidates
100%.
That are not
bland, like Doug Jones. On the Republican side.
Find a guy who has almost no positions on anything and run that guy for office. Maybe that's the right answer. All right, stay tuned. Coming up, House Minority Leader Anthony Daniels will be with us. Stay tuned. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at University Kia. I've been driving a University Kia vehicle for years, multiple vehicles. I have put hundreds of thousands of miles on vehicles from University Kia, and I highly recommend that you go see my friends down there. Go see Calvin, go see Arthur, go see Dave Brady, and you're going to find the perfect vehicle for your family. A car, an SUV, or my brand new vehicle, a Kia Soul. You're going to find exactly what you're looking for at University Kia. Check them out online at universitykia.com, and when you talk to my friends at University Kia, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
RVing, still an American pastime.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. You know, since I've been working with Matt Curtis, the number of hours it takes for him to sell a house continues to shrink. We're down to 14 hours. Every 14 hours, Matt Curtis sells a house. If you're looking to sell your house, he's the best in town, one of the best in the entire nation. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com. And when you do, tell him Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
That's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson, filling in for Dr. Waymon Burke, James Lomax, and our guest this week, House Minority Leader Anthony Daniels. He joins us to discuss a whole bunch of different things. We had a lot to discuss. Now, this has been a very exciting period for Alabama Democrats. I mean, let's just be real about it. You got a United States Senator who's a Democrat in Alabama, and that was not expected when this race started. At what point did you know the worm had turned in this race?
Well, when you saw how fractured the Republican Party was internally, when you have folks like Roy Moore and his following, and then you have folks like Luther Strange who appear to be more moderate, but because of how he got into the role, there was some concerns there, and so we saw angles from both candidates. I think that Roy Moore was the easier of the candidates. We thought that he would not be well funded, and he always underperformed other Republicans in all the elections that he run in
generals. So Doug Jones is now Doug Jones is now the senator-elect. I think he dodged a bullet by not having to vote on this tax cut thing. So all the people who are like, we need to have Doug Jones there, I'm sure Doug Jones is like, no, I'm good. I don't want any part of this thing. How does he straddle the line between being sort of a Bud Kramer-esque conservative Democrat, which is sort of how he tried to brand himself? I'm not sure I buy it, but let's just go with the premise. How does he straddle the line between that and not depressing folks who voted for him because they wanted a Democrat? I mean, how does he straddle that line?
I think on economic issues, he certainly will probably lean more to the right on economic issues because of the economy that we currently have in the state of Alabama. It's much more difficult as a U.S. Senator and how close the numbers are in the Senate than the House. I think when you're in the House, you have so many House members that you're able to hide out, as you indicated. But I think it's much more difficult as a United States Senator. But I'm certain that he will be able to. He understands what the people of Alabama, how they feel about the issues, and I think he'll fall in line and probably follow and work in partnership with Senator Shelby.
Do you believe this? This is just my premise, and I'll let James ask you a question here. Do you believe that he has to act more as a delegate than a representative? And what I mean by that is he has to represent the will of the people a little more than someone like a Mo Brooks or someone might have to. They can go philosophically, I believe this, I've always believed this. Does he have to operate more as a delegate of the people?
I think so, and I think that's the way we all should strive to really operate as elected representatives. Is really being reflective of the state and the people that sent us to Washington in his case, or into Montgomery, and just being very pragmatic and being very moderate in our thinking and not really towing the party line.
It's too bad Burke's not here. He loves it when people toss around the word pragmatic. Go ahead, James.
And he likes the word delegate too. Yeah. But Representative Daniels, you kind of had a front row seat to this election. You were pretty integral, it seemed like, on just helping Doug Jones break into certain areas. What did you see out of Doug Jones? Is there ever a point where you said, all right, this is a guy that's going to be our next United States Senator, or did it always kind of feel like you were behind the eight ball somewhat?
Well, I felt that we had to keep him thinking that we were behind the eight ball, but we obviously saw a way to really turn the votes out and what areas we need to focus on, and we know what the turnout needed to be in those particular areas. In a special election, we know that the numbers are significantly lower, and so you go into areas where your Democratic base is stronger, and you try to really expand on that particular base and increase the turnout. The difficult part that really had me concerned was the date of the election, December 12th. knowing that many of the college campuses across the state would be out. And we had to figure out how do we make up for those particular numbers, and we were able to find in certain Democratic hotbeds, we were able to find those numbers to make up from the numbers that we were anticipating from college campuses.
Moving forward into 2018, now we have a governor's election. Now, Republican turnout was suppressed in this, and I know the word suppression is maybe not the right word, but it was depressed in this particular case. Does that give you hope for the governor's race, or was this a one-off?
It does give me hope because you see you have very strong candidates that's running for governor on both sides of the aisle. I think that it depends on the electorate. Are the Republicans going to elect the more extreme person out of the primary, or are they going to elect someone that's pragmatic? If they elect someone that is extreme, I think that you'll see a Democratic governor.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that lays into a very good point as far as messaging going into the governor's race and everything like that. We talked a little bit about it earlier with the GOP. What have you seen, within the Democratic Party of bringing those young people in, the new level of base, the new energized folks within the party, and trying to actually grow the party? What have been some strategies, and what have you seen?
I think, the issue of college affordability is certainly an issue that's on everybody's mind. Most young people leave school with about $30,000 in student loan debt. And many of us that are interested in public service careers like teaching and other areas, law enforcement and other areas, want to be able to stay in the state of Alabama. But unfortunately, because of the high amount of student loan debt that you leave college with, you have to make a decision to take that higher paying job, even if it's out of your area. And so that's one of the areas. And then the economy. Are we going to be able to attract high-paying jobs to Alabama in order to retain those young people, not just the young people that go to school here, but those that are currently made Alabama their home. And so it's about retention.
Does that become the agenda of the Democratic caucus in the Alabama State House? Is that the agenda? You're trying to go down that path?
The agenda for the Democrats, and obviously, I'm more on the younger side. The agenda has to be an economic agenda, and it has to be an agenda that modernize our politics to accommodate the new gig economy and attracting those small tech CEOs and figuring out ways to really push forth policies that address the modernization of the new economy. Like things like portable benefits and other things that will be very attractive to those young CEOs and young people in general. And also education. Quality education is something that we have to focus on. And one of the areas that one of the things that we're going to be pushing for this year is cradle to pre-K. Not just starting at pre-K, but starting at cradle to pre-K, so that we're able to increase the rigor of the curriculum moving forward.
Anthony Daniels, House Minority Leader there in the state of Alabama State House. And we got a lot more coming up here on this program. Thank you very much for being here. I've got a history lesson for you. Hillary Clinton wraps Christmas presents. And I've got a party shot for you as well about how you don't have to ruin your Christmas. Thanks a lot for watching Guerrilla Politics. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. Since I've been working with Matt Curtis, the number of hours it takes for him to sell a house continues to shrink. We're down to 14 hours. Every 14 hours, Matt Curtis sells a house. If you're looking to sell your house, he's the best in town, one of the best in the entire nation. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com. And when you do, tell him Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at University Kia. I've been driving a University Kia vehicle for years, multiple vehicles. I've put hundreds of thousands of miles on vehicles from University Kia, and I highly recommend that you go see my friends down there. Go see Calvin, go see Arthur, go see Dave Brady, and you're going to find the perfect vehicle for your family. A car, an SUV, or my brand new vehicle, a Kia Soul. You're going to find exactly what you're looking for at University Kia. Check them out online at universitykia.com, and when you talk to my friends at University Kia, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at Rocket City Property Management. Look, I've got a property and I've got a renter, but I don't have time to be dealing with all the hassles of being a landlord. That's where Rocket City Property Management comes in. They collect my rent, they deal with the maintenance issues, they help me find people to live in my property. They'll do it for you too. Check them out online at rocketcitypropertymanagement.com, and when you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson, filling in for Dr. Waymon Burke. James Lomax is here with us as we wrap up the program. I've got a history lesson for you. It's Hillary Clinton. It's a Hillary Clinton ad from the past. You'll absolutely love this thing as much as everyone loved Hillary Clinton. And I've got a party shot for you about how you don't need to ruin Christmas over politics. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and get to the history lesson. Hillary Clinton, she loves to pretend to be human. It's always amusing, and it never, ever, ever works. Roll it.
Where did I put universal pre-K? Oh, okay. There it is. I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
All right, so there we go. Hillary Clinton, this was from her earlier run, not her last one, but I think if we were going to map out why she lost, it's stuff like that where she pretends to be a human being. It's very hard to connect to stuff like that, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of amazing, Dale. I don't think that she's actually ever been associated with a normal Christmas. She probably doesn't know what that looks like. It doesn't look like that. We're not handing those things out.
I'm sure she's a lovely grandmother.
That's worked out for them quite frequently, just handing things out. Okay. So I don't know if that was a campaign tactic or just something that went terribly wrong.
Let's go ahead and get to the party shot. My party shot this week is directed at all of you who will be celebrating Christmas this evening or tomorrow. There is no reason to ruin it with politics. Yes, you'll see those stories out there, how to talk to your racist uncle about tax cuts and how to do all these other ththings at the Christmas table. Let me tell you what you should do. Nothing. You should enjoy your family and have a good time. Now, I'm Dale Jackson. Everywhere I go, I get asked to talk about politics, and I politely do so. And then rarely it turns into a bigger issue. Don't be that guy. There is zero reason for normal people to be that guy, and I'm not a normal person. Enjoy your holiday with your family. Have a great holiday, and we'll be back next week to talk more about 2018 and where we're going after this. So thank you very much for watching Guerrilla Politics.